There's those tots. What do these tots remind you guys of? 5,000 calories. We got eggs, we got cinnamon sugar, we got strawberries, we got bananas. Yes, these are sandwiches. These are sandwiches. These are not hot dogs. Let me repeat, these are not hot dogs. These are breakfast sandwiches with eggs and bananas and tater tots in the middle with jam. What's up, guys? It is vegetarian breakfast sub time. Let's go. What's up, guys? It's vegetarian breakfast subs time. Let's go. Let's go. Vamos. Where's my lifting towel? I don't even know where the hell it is. Let me get everybody situated. All right, we're not talking about dieting. I will just mention real quick that Telemundo did no research on my nutrition. They were talking about my fatty, high cholesterol meals. When I explained to them that my meals are not high cholesterol and my cholesterol is 118, as you've seen on Dr. Oz. So Telemundo basically did a fake news report on me. The only thing that's real is that I do eat all this food and lost a bunch of weight. What's fake is my cholesterol is phenomenal. I'm super healthy, and the nutritionists don't know shit, basically. Or didn't even care to ask. They just jumped to conclusions. So, anyway, let's get this started. It's cool that you're a nutritionist for a major TV company, and you don't do any research on what you're reporting on, though. So, cheers. Is my diet expensive? And you know what's funny? Good morning, Claire. You know what's funny? People still didn't care. New people said, I just saw you on Telemundo. This is awesome. And my fans obviously, thank you to all my awesome fans who defended me as well. Tater tots remind me of the school cafeteria. Do tater tots remind anybody else of school cafeteria? Forgot my drink. Imagine if they said, and he drinks a half gallon of Fireball. Wouldn't have been surprised. Everybody's saying yes. Supporters, you're right. I should say supporters, not fans. Supporters. Well, the thing if you're out of the country, in America, the first time many of us have had these tater tots was at school in the cafeteria. It's not something your parents, maybe your parents do serve them at home, but me, my first time was at a cafeteria. You know what I haven't done in a while, Joseph? Elio's. Elio's Pizza. I should do that again because the last time I did Elio's, everybody went fucking nuts. It's all about the nostalgic foods. These are not hot dogs. This is a strawberry. You know what Elio's remind me of? When I was a kid, we would go to birthday parties at the rink. It was a roller rink. And this is roller skates. This is before rollerblades. And you would get a hot dog or pizza. And if you got pizza, it was like Elio's, but like a house brand Elio's. It was almost always undercooked, and I loved it. Elio's is a square pizza that comes in a box. The roller rink was awesome. Jenny, why are you up? Jenny's got to be at work in like 5 hours. Intermediate fasting? Nobody does intermediate fasting. It's intermittent fasting. So, back in the day, let me explain the roller rink. It's just like an ice rink, but in the center, they had an island. Good night, Jenny. Get some sleep, please. They had an island. They had a DJ booth. And the DJ would be in the center. And we would all skate around. And then they would have like boys skate only. Girls skate only. And like when it was boys skate only, all the girls would wrap around the perimeter of the rink. And we'd high five the girls as we rode around. It was so cool. And then when we switched, the same thing. No. Those were the days. And then, you can't find a roller rink around here. I don't get it. So, like, what happened to the roller rinks? Now they just, like, kids play Pokemon. Those were the best days. Kids just sit around and play video games. They don't skate unless they play hockey. Or unless they're competitive figure skaters. Yes, Idita, you can get Elio's in the supermarkets. You drinking Pine Sol right now? I try to get kids to have fun, get them on bikes. I love seeing kids be active because when I was a kid, we had first of all, we had the shittiest video games, which were the best video games. I remember when original Nintendo came out, and I got it for like Christmas. We dealing with some 8-bit bullshit, but I thought it was so cool. I was like so amped up to get original Nintendo and just watching these blocks on the screen. Super Mario, Zelda, Excite Bike, Contra, up, down, left, right, BA start. That's the code for 30 lives. Well, And those were the days. Before that, it was just shitty Atari. Still better than many of the video games today, which is friggin' a block on the screen. Nintendo didn't work half the time. You had to blow on the cartridges. Sometimes you had to run them under the sink or scrape them with a toothbrush. You had to shove a piece of paper in the console. The screen would start blinking. You'd be like on like halfway through a video game and the screen would just start blinking and you'd just be like, what the fuck? Just, oh, that's it. Tossing the controllers. Like, those were the days. Now you have video games where everything just works. That's bullshit. But anyway, when I say we had video games, I mean, we would ride bikes all day, rollerblade, play Manhunt, play whatever games outside until it got dark and until we had to go home. And we had to go home. Then that was video game time. It wasn't video game time when it's sunny and warm out. Yes, you would try to leave it on. If you just walked in, I'm eating egg sandwiches with strawberries and bananas and cinnamon sugar and school cafeteria tater tots on the side with jam. Anyway, I'm saying that shit was awesome. And kids should be back there. Save a game. That's how you save the game. You hope nobody touched it and nothing happened when you left. You couldn't hit a save button. Somebody could go to get a drink, trip over the controller, pull the console, the screen would start blinking, and you'd be like, no, oh, fuck. Kids these days, saving it out all day and all night till you got back from school. Exactly. And hoping nobody fucked with it. Going through your head the whole time. I hope nobody's ruined my game. I hope nobody ruined. You get home, you look. It was either good or it was bad. Oh, if you saved the princess, you were the fucking man. You're the man if you saved the princess. Shit was great. When your Game Boy was like as heavy as a cinder block. Manhunt. Ring and Run. You can't even do that shit anymore. We live in a time where playing Ring and Run probably isn't as safe as it used to be. We used to play the craziest game. So I remember we were playing a game where we were putting our friend in the garbage. We were putting one of our friends in the garbage can and wheeling them around. We were rotating. Somebody would have to get in the garbage can. We'd shut the lid and we'd wheel them around. And that's the game we were playing. It's a stupid game, right? So we put my one friend in the garbage can and we rolled him up to these people's front door and rang the bell and ditched them. And we waited in the bushes. We waited in the bushes for them to open the door. And they opened the door and he was still in the garbage can because he didn't know he was there. And then he finally, like, he's like, where is everybody? So he comes out of the garbage can, and his whole family is staring at him. It was awesome. We built a snowman blocking somebody's driveway with a dick and balls on it. We built a snowman blocking somebody's driveway with a dick and 2 balls. Awesome. Kids aren't creative. What's up, E-Tab? The games back in the day, that's what I'm saying, Ben. The games back in the day push you into the dryer. Like, today is so lame. Pushing your brother around in that? You got hurt? Oh, man. When the recycling bins were first delivered, yeah. Before we had recycling bins. That was the best thing. It's like free garbage cans we can fit people in. And that was when it happened with my friend too. Who could eat grass and not throw up? We would make mud pies, have people eat worms. I remember when we had to get, speaking of mean older brothers and people, our first Playboy we got, my friend's older brother and his friends threw a bunch of Playboy magazines in the sewer. And then we had to shoot it out to see who had to go in the sewer to get the Playboy magazines. Because back then, you didn't just go on the internet and get porn. You had to go crawl in the sewer for it. I understand your plight, Ben. I wasn't that guy, but we have people on my block, because I didn't have a younger brother, we used my friend's younger brothers to do the same type of shit. It was like the first form of hazing. It was the first, you want to be in our club? You want to be in our crew? You got to go do this. You want to hang out with us? Go do this. You used to shoot your cousins with a BB gun? Now, granted, a lot of that stuff does not fly anymore. A lot of it does not fly. Making huge ramps out of snow and going off them flying saucers. Trying not to break bones. Oh, those shitty plastic saucers which just cracked in half. She sprayed in the face with WD-40. That's awesome, Jennifer. We used to play the pocketbook game. The pocketbook game was like running bases, except running from base to base, we would have my friend's sister stand in the middle, and she would swing her pocketbook and try to beat you down with it as you ran by. So you had to dodge the pocketbook in addition. Awesome game. And like, I don't think I'm out of touch because I do go outside in the summer, and there's one group of kids who lives by me. There's one group of kids. It's like a group of like 8 kids who lives by me. And they're always outside, just like me. They're playing basketball in the street, no shoes on, no shirt. They don't give a shit. And I love those kids because they just they remind me of like me and my friends. Do I think a scooter would burn similar calories to riding a bike? If you push that scooter like crazy, man. And you'd have to rotate legs. Hide the belt. I would say it's less efficient. You can burn a ton of calories doing anything, but there's 0 hot dogs here. There's 0 hot dogs. But I would say a scooter is a tough way to burn as many calories unless you're like going really, really far. This guy thinks my sandwiches are dry as fuck. If he only knew what they were. Hide the belt. You can, but on a scooter, what motivates you to keep going? That's the thing. Like, what motivates you? And you could also just chill on a bike. You can also just chill on a bike and not push hard and just roll. But usually it's on a bike, it's speed. Wow, I swallowed a lot of air. All that talking and eating. Damn. I'm not saying don't buy a scooter, guys. If you're doing anything outdoors and active, it's just friggin', you're already winning. You're already fucking winning. This is the time of year when I get depressed because my bike rides are down to once a week or 0 times a week. Like, that's why you opted for the scooter? Well, do it, man. Push it. Get the scooter and push it. And if you're amped up and having a good time, Jesse, of course it's better than nothing. And you know what it is? It's at least friggin' fun. Let me explain this to you, Jesse. The bikes I ride, oh, definitely ride scooters with your kids, are not the best calorie burning bikes. Oh my God. If I wanted to burn more calories, I would ride my other bike I don't ride. But the bikes I ride are fun. And fun is more important than burning more calories. Benjamin, when I got my first SE bike, I'm like, I'll ride this once in a while. Because I was so focused on burning calories on my other bike. I rode it like 3 times. And the other bike just friggin'... That was it. I'm like, fuck burning more calories. How did the people treat me on Telemundo? Not well. They made false assumptions about my diet. Didn't do the research. Said things which were incorrect. You have a gym at home. It's like you're on a dreaded mission watching the clock. Like, yep. And that's the way it used to be on my calorie burning bike. Like, I'd be watching the clock, watching my time, checking my mileage and like, how far did I go, whatever. I don't freaking watch the clock now. I go out there, I'm having a good time. When it's time to go home, it's time to go home. The wife and you will be getting a bike soon. If for anybody who's buying something, anything, bikes, scooters, friggin' rollerblades, whatever, just make sure it's something you can see yourself doing in like 5 years. Like, whew. Don't buy a mountain bike if you're never going to ride off-road. Hoverboards. Well, I do minimal weight training. Minimal. At home. And when I say minimal at home, it's so bad. I have the Blake Diet group. I have a ton of shit to do in there a day. Like a ton of questions to answer. I'm also writing content, coming up with recipes and all this stuff. I got my Instagram, my YouTube, I gotta publish videos, I gotta deal with my editor, my business partner, I gotta do a million things. So I sit down for like 14 hours a day. On the days I decide to pick up some dumbbells at home, I'm like, all right, I could do this workout while I'm working at the computer. Hasn't worked out all year. I'll get up, I'll do one set, I'll be like, all right, I'll do the next set in like 2 minutes. I'll sit down for like 10 minutes, be like, fuck, I gotta get back up. Do another half-ass set, sit down. I get so sidetracked that like, literally my home workout is like 8 to 10 sets, and it can take me like, usually takes me like an hour and a half. An hour and a half to do 8 to 10 sets. Of just me forgetting I was working out, getting up, doing it again, going back down. But hey, it's better than nothing. Why do you hate the rowing machine? Why do you hate the rowing machine? You live in Monterey County. Looks nasty outside. No, I'm not saying don't work out. I used to be all about the friggin' gym life. I was a proud fucking gym rat. I love that shit. Right now, I just don't. But you got to do what you enjoy. Like, no, there's 210 grams of protein here. You gotta do what you enjoy because, and sometimes that will change. And that's okay. Setting the time doesn't work. It annoys me. For every 10 minutes. And it should be faster than every 10 minutes, Latricia. It should be like every 3 minutes. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter to me. You love the failed trolls? Yeah, I don't feed the trolls. I feed myself. So, regardless, I did go back to the gym 2 days. 2 days last week, was it? I went back to the gym 2 days last week. I will be going back again next week, I think. I was supposed to just end too hard. I need to get out. I don't, Shannon, and I'm worried that the test will be canceled because they're supposed to get snow. But shout to the people. Shout to the people who like to troll. I went back to the gym. The second day I went back to the gym, I pulled my fucking groin. I let my ego get the best of me. I was trying to push as much weight as I used to. I haven't been there in 6 months. Why push it, Blake? I was thinking, why push it? You could do this. My fucking asshole on my shoulder. You got this. Pull my groin on a leg press. Then I go to do box jumps. Start the box jumps at 48 inches. You could do this. You got this. Friggin' catch my foot on the box. Friggin' pull my groin even worse. Like, I shouldn't have been allowed back at the gym. But now I know. Now I know not to let my ego get in the way. It's so funny, all the idiots who think there's no protein in my meals. Well, you can make it, Michelle. Just engineer it to fit. You gotta have something else, but salami, you got fat. Chips, you got fat and carbs. Salsa is basically barely any calories. Wine, empty calories for the most part. You know what's I'm having trouble with? You're saying every recipe you come up with exceeds your protein goal. And I have a lot of other people saying they can't get enough protein. Like, what are you doing Jesse, tell the other Blake Diet members what you're doing. Walk them through your meals. That you're exceeding your protein goal. It could be low hydration, Donovan. It could be low potassium. Most times it's adjusting and dehydration. So, I'm sorry, I got two cameras here. I got Instagram Live, I got the Blake Diet Group Live. We're split here. Well, if you're on Instagram, you don't know what you're looking at. You know some of what you're looking at, but you don't know the whole picture. If you're in the Blake Diet Group, you saw me make this meal, and I gave you all the ingredients and went over every little thing that went into it. They will help, Idea. They will help, but you also want to start looking at the higher potassium foods too. Nothing's as good as food, but that will definitely help. This meal's 4,000 calories. I own in the neighborhood of 20 bow ties. Not always, Pablo, not always. Was I a straight A student in class? I got A's and B's. I got A's and B's. Of course they don't. Of course. People just want an excuse not to learn the diet. Did you ever skip class to get... Just classify. Senior year, when I went to school, I graduated high school in 2000, so we didn't have rules. I should rephrase that. While we had rules, we were able to break them all and not get in any trouble. So, everybody's going to want you to start posting your meals, Jesse. While we had rules, you were allowed to drive. What's up, Lisa? We were allowed to drive across the lawn. Not allowed. We drove across the lawn, across the sidewalk. We drove past security to leave when we weren't supposed to be able to leave. We're good. We did the dumbest shit possible. So, it was after we graduated, they started putting the cameras in the schools, all that stuff, all these rules, can't do this, can't do that. Everybody's on lockdown, can't get away with shit. We basically ruined it for the kids who came to school later in us, so. Like, the security guard would try to stop us, and we would just wave and drive past him. Shout to Ray. Shout to Ray, the security guard in the red Ford F-350. What am I thinking about modern rules? Modern rules were put here because of all the shit that happens in our country. Terrorism, all the school shootings. Please do, Jesse. I'm sure other people would like to see. You know what it is? I'll tell you guys what it is. This is what it is. If you have trouble hitting your protein, it's one of two things. You're going too low on calories, or you're trying to friggin' eat too many carbs. It's one of two things. If you're doing 1,200 calories and your goal weight's 150, maybe you shouldn't be doing 1,200 calories, because that means you're at a higher, you have a higher energy expenditure, base energy expenditure. Whereas if your goal weight was 120, it would be lower. You would need less protein. So I understand why the rules are there. It just sucks. Because we didn't have those problems. Minimal problems with kids in school. Nothing like it is now. When I say minimal problems, kids were bad. Kids did a lot of dumb shit but didn't kill anybody. If any of you guys need further help, though, Blake Dieters, drop a post in the Blake Diet group. Blame the video games. Honestly, you made a good point. When we were kids, the video games were so shitty that there was a divide, a separation between reality and video games. And nowadays, this shit is so fucking real. This shit is so real that, like, I'll give you, for instance, forget about shooting. Forget about shooting. Grand Theft Auto, right? The first Grand Theft Auto was a computer game, overhead view, choppy as shit, with shitty blocked cars where you had to control it with the computer, the up arrow, the left, right, and the back arrow to stop. And this is how you steered the car, and the space bar was for shooting or some shit. No part of that game made you lose touch with reality when driving a car. No, it's true. It's true. It's true, Jennifer. Nowadays, it's so real that you get in your own car and you want to slam into people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't... You're behind the wheel of your own car and you default to video game mode. You're like, fuck this guy. Oh. And here's the problem. When you spend, if you have no friends, and you spend all your time in video game land. You have no friends, you spend all your time in video game land. You might default to some crazy shit. It's got to be stopped. Like, I used to work at an indoor amusement park. I used to work at Sports World, and they had hundreds and hundreds of arcade games. So we got to play all the games there, and they're just arcade games. And well, have video games gone too far? They're making it too real. They're making it too real to the point where in a few years, you're not even going to need to go out to get laid anymore. You just buy some fucking virtual reality freaking get laid game. And those girls are all going to freaking talk to you. I'm not going to call you a douche. You tell them to do whatever you want. And women too. They're going to have a bunch of nice guys who just agree with everything they say. They already got those, well, more readily available. Like, the movie with Bruce Willis where everybody has a VR life. I forget. What's the movie where they created the robot chip? And then she left them. They created their dream chick and it... Hey Alexa, what's the movie where the two dudes... Young Science? Young Science?
I know about 5 Kyung Soo-do movies. They are Along with the Gods.
Hey Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, what's the movie Young Science?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Is it Young Science? Do I have a 6-pack? I have a no-pack right now, man. I have a stomach full of sandwiches. Ask me again tomorrow. Weird Science. Weird Science. Right through. Weird time we live in. Soon you're going to go to buy a Tesla and they're going to throw in the girl from Weird Science as part of the package. Elon Musk is going to be like, I want every man to have a companion, every woman to have a companion. Whoever buys one of my cars. Call little bro. You're going to see like Instagram influencers doing ads. I just bought a Tesla and it came with the most handsome man. Aren't you the most handsome man? Whatever you say, sweetie. How beautiful am I? You're the most beautiful girl I ever saw. Tesla's going that route, but good for him. Good for him, man. There's still no hot dog buns here. Yeah, you're gonna get a beige out of the steering wheel. Like the movie Airplane. Remember the movie Airplane with the blow-up people? Who ended up screwing? Look, I used to think Elon Musk was a jackass. If you watch his story and all the shit he's done, I'm fascinated with that man. And while I'm not Elon Musk, I'm another person who goes against the grain. I have a vision. And I don't care how many people hate on it. Just hate if you want. Hate on that man all you friggin' want, man. He's done a lot. Not only for charity, but to change modern technology. Now, he may end up killing us all. He may, but that's a risk we have to take. What's up, Omar? French, Greek, Cajun, or Italian food? Greek, Cajun, or Italian? No, look, people hate on other people who think differently and will stand in the face of adversity when everybody just disagrees with them. People are always going to hate those people. Modern day technology is horrible and awesome. Look, let me explain something to you guys. Everything that is good has its bad side. Every gift has its curse. Everything. Every single thing in this world, which is good, has a positive, also has its negatives. There's not one thing I could think of. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. You become too famous, you can't go outside. You become too rich, everybody's calling you, asking you for money. Good problems to have. You become too broke, nobody's asking you for money. Nobody wants shit for you. You get in a relationship, you can no longer play the field. You're playing the field, you're not in a relationship. You have a super nice car, you gotta be careful. You have a piece of shit car, you don't have to give a shit about it, but you have a piece of shit car. Oh, appreciate it. Like, you can think of any friggin'... You get super jacked, you have to maintain it. You do steroids and get jacked instantly. Guess what? You can lose it instantly. Just as fast as you friggin' blew up, you can just lose it all in like friggin' the blink of an eye. I've seen it. I've seen it happen to people before. The guy who gets jacked overnight and then shrinks overnight. Like, every single thing in the world. I'm trying to think of friggin' anything. I appreciate it. Yin yang, yes. Everything. Yin yang. Everything balances it out. Everything balances out. And that's just the way life is. And technology is a big one. We wouldn't be talking right now if it wasn't for technology. Everybody said I should be on Joe Rogan. There is no up without down. It's so true. And I'm not saying be a negative person. I'm just saying understand reality. Just understand reality. It's not a bad thing. It's just necessity. Like, you know, they say be careful what you wish for. It's because, like, the most awesome wishes, like superpowers, will, like, ruin it for you. I don't know enough about Ty Lopez to form an opinion. I know a lot of people hate him. And I know he's super successful. And he promotes reading. So, I think he's definitely a good businessman. That's all I could say. If there's a lot of people hating on somebody, they're a great businessman. Here in my garage, he shows his Ferrari, some hot chicks. I read like 17 books a day. Whatever, man. People are watching. People are watching. I don't even know exactly what people are hating on. Like, that he's rich. Look, I just know people make fun of him, just kind of like I just did, but I respect him. Because he's killing it. He probably doesn't know who the hell I am. I have not met Gary Vee, but I probably will at some point in time. Gary's local, so can definitely happen. I usually get about 5 hours sleep as opposed to what you might have seen on the internet. I've been getting more lately. Yes, that's true. But they can do... That's the thing. Anybody can do what I can do. Anybody can do what anybody else is doing. Nobody's magic. If you want to put the work in, you can do what anybody else is doing. Within reason. Let's be real. That's all I gotta say about that. Check it out. Instagram stream dive. Now, granted, I don't know if he's telling people. I don't know if he's telling people you could have a Ferrari too if you read 17 books a day, but maybe they can. How the fuck would I know if I read 17 books a day if I couldn't get a Ferrari? That's the thing. I'm not. I mean, I don't have the time to read 17 books a day or whatever he does. I'm just throwing out numbers. But rather than people bashing him, why not just buy into his shit and see if anything comes of it, and then call him a piece of shit? And again, I'm really not sure what he's about. Alexa, what is Ty Lopez about?
I don't know that.
Alexa, who is Ty Lopez?
American entrepreneur.
American entrepreneur. Probably way better than me. Alexa, who is Blake Horton?
Blake Horton is an Australian footballer who plays as a goalkeeper for Mildenhall Town in the Isthmian League. Born in Nowra, New South Wales, Horton began his senior career for Rockdale City Suns before moving to the Netherlands to play for Telstar in 2015.
Alexa, stop. You're embarrassing me in front of people. No, that's all true. But if you Google Blake Horton, I come up. Obviously, Alexa can't Google. Obviously, she's going to pull up a Wikipedia page, and I don't have a Wikipedia page. Alexa, Google Blake Horton. Can she Google?
Blake Horton is an Australian
No.
who plays as a goalkeeper
Alexa,
for
stop.
Mildenhall.
You can get some haters on my YouTube. You're not even fucking famous, bro. You're not a fucking football player. This meal was way bigger than I intended it to be. I don't know how the hell I did that again. That's still a meal there. I gotta stop that. You know what it is? That ain't it. I'm trying to figure out how to keep making my meals too big. And this wasn't a low-fat meal. Wasn't low-carb, wasn't low protein. You know what, Shannon? But the strawberries hydrate and they're easy to finish. There are times... No, Jesse, like... There's so many times I'm doing a 4,000 calorie meal, and people are like, tiny meal. Tiny meal. The giant McRib the other day. One sandwich, some fries. This meal's filling as hell. I said when I made it, I'm like, this is more food than I want to eat. I'm going to struggle with this. Granted, there's worse problems to have, but... like half of this meal. If this meal was half the size, it would have been enjoyable. You be the judge of that, Idina. You be the judge of that one. Because Jenny and I will say two different things. It'll be a yes and a no. To Shannon, yes. To me, yes. To Jenny, no. But you know what, Jesse? Like, I did not want to eat that much food. I would have been better with 3 sandwiches. You want to talk about what we were just talking about? Every gift has its curse. I figure out this nutritional meal, which is massive for the amount of calories. So massive that I don't even want to finish it. Like people are complaining about like a million things. Like, meal's too small, hungry all the time. Never hungry makes a massive nutritional meal. Doesn't even want to finish their meal just to maintain weight. Like... Granted, awesome problem to have. Much happier having this problem than the hungry problem or the feeling unsatisfied problem. But but there you go.